Why do women shame men who learn pickup, who learn game? It's the same reason why women shame men who preach the red pill, or men who speak out against feminism, or even women who speak out against feminism. Because anything that threatens a woman's power, they are automatically going to try to shame or shout down or destroy. You know, women are actually very destructive. You know, that's something that you learn once you go red pill. You learn actually how destructive and how manipulative and how vengeful a woman can be. Not all, okay, I'm not saying all, I'm just saying many. Okay, so especially when it comes to learning game, anything that, again, threatens their ability to have control over you, to have power over you, to yield power over you, anything that threatens that, she is going to immediately try to shame, try to annihilate, try to abolish, right? And when it comes to women, there's no such thing as playing fair. They will play dirty, right? They will get the courts on their side. They will get society against you. They will call your work, right? Get you in trouble, right? They will do whatever they have to do in order to win. You know, you think guys are competitive, women are super competitive. Just look at how they compete with each other. Look at how they try to sabotage each other, right? And these are other women, right? This is why they have that expression that women hate each other, you know? It's true, right? So when you're out there trying to learn pickup and learn game, and you're trying to get better at outmaneuvering women, outsmarting them, and beating them at their own game, right? Especially when it comes to the dating landscape. I mean, women own the dating landscape, right? Because, I mean, you don't even have to be that hot. You could just be a semi-cute chick. You don't even have to be in that good a shape these days. You could be like kind of pudgy, kind of fat, and kind of just a little cute. And you'll have tons of beta orbiters throwing themselves at you. You know, and women know that, right? And it feeds them power. It feeds them power. But when you learn a little pickup, you learn a little bit of game. The more you learn and the better skilled you get, the less you have to settle for those low-value women. The more you can start to rise, right? And raise the bar and go after women who are younger, hotter, better looking. And this is why you will commonly get shamed for doing that. Even just doing that, you will get shamed for that. I mean, you should be praised for being able to do something like that, especially if you're in your 30s or your 40s, you know, especially when you get to like my age. You should be praised for this, right? You would think like people would be like, wow, dude, you are kicking ass. What are you doing right? I got to learn from you, right? Because if you put a woman who's like my age, you put her in my place and say she's dating guys half her age, they would be like, you go, girl, you go. That's right. She's an empowered, independent woman, but you do it as a guy. That's gross. She could be your daughter. She could be your daughter. Have you ever heard anyone shame a 35 or 45-year-old woman for dating a kid who's like 25 and be like, hey, that could be your son? No, you don't hear that. You don't really hear that. But you do hear it if it's a guy who does it, right? The guy will get shamed. And believe me, I get shamed all the time in my comment section. Never in real life, you know, surprisingly. They never come up to me in real life. It's always online. And it's always these faceless trolls with the fake YouTube profile and the fake account, right? These pussies, they never link to their real social media. I just ignore these people. A lot of times they end up in the spam filter anyway, so they never even actually make it to the comment section. So they don't even go anywhere, right? But a lot of these faceless trolls will say shit like that. Like, oh, she could be your daughter, you know, she could be your daughter, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what do you want me to say? Yeah? So, as far as I know, last I checked, 18 is legal in the United States, and it's even younger in certain states, like Texas. I think it's like 17. And then if you go to Sweden, I think it's like 16, right? It's getting a little young there, you know? But you're going to get shamed, right? Especially when you're learning pickup, you're learning game. Anything that gives you more power as a man, you're going to get shamed for. So whether it's game, pickup, learning red pill, even MGTOW guys get shamed, right? Especially a lot of women, they're noticing more and more guys aren't getting married these days. More and more guys are walking away. And even for a lot of these women, I mean, a lot of these women wouldn't date any of these MGTOW guys. They still don't like the idea of them doing that. And it's like, okay, you don't have any interest in dating these guys, right? Why do you care what they do? Why? Because it takes power away from her as a woman. Right? Even though it's not directly, more indirectly, it still takes power away from her as a woman. And she doesn't like that. It's almost instinctual for a woman not to like power being taken away from her. You know? Because, I mean, women are really power hungry. You know, they were never meant to have power, but they are very power hungry. And, you know, they're generally very destructive when it comes to power. You know, I have to say that just because they're not wired for it, they're not wired to have power. You know, that is a masculine trait. Power is a masculine trait. It just is from a biological standpoint. Right? And I'm not saying anything new here. You know, don't shoot the messenger. I mean, this is stuff that you can research. This is stuff that you can Google. I mean, you know, I'm a pickup artist. I'm just a guy on YouTube. I'm a PUA. You know, and I teach guys how to date, how to go out there and cold approach women. I mean, that's just what I do. And you know, from the thousands of approaches I've done, from the hundreds of, you know, beautiful women I've dated, from the tens of thousands of strangers I've met just out there doing cold approach in society, exploring humanity, that is one conclusion that I've come to, is like, women should not have power, because generally when they get power, they abuse it. They're very abusive with it. Now, is this to say guys aren't abusive with power? No, of course not. Yeah, there are guys that are abusive with power. But overwhelmingly, more guys who have power are able to handle it and kind of put it in perspective. I'm just saying generally, okay? Because there's always exceptions to the rule. Are there some men who abuse their power? Of course, right? Are there some women who don't abuse their power? Of course. But I'm saying overwhelmingly, from what I've seen, women are pretty abusive with their power, especially their sexual power, their sexual dominance. Them knowing that they have the power to shut a guy down who approaches them, that they can just completely annihilate him and just destroy his ego and really just put the guy in their head. You know, and from a guy who's been doing cold approach for decades now, I've seen these girls do it, and it's like super cold. I mean, it's super disgusting when I see a girl go to that extent that she doesn't have to just really annihilate a guy who just likes her. You know, he thought she was cute, and he's just trying to talk to her. He doesn't know how. He's not the best at it yet, and she annihilates him. And she doesn't have to go there. You know, she abuses that power. When it comes to learning pickup and game, make no mistake, you're going to get shamed for it. When it comes to learning this red pill stuff, when you go out there and preach it, you're going to get shamed for it. Okay? You go MGTOW, you're going to get shamed for it. Why? Because you're taking power away from the feminine. Okay? Whenever you take power away from the feminine, guess what? They will attack. They will attack. But you know what? You can't let them attack you. You got to stay strong, stand strong in your beliefs, stand strong in your values, and stand up for what you believe in. So until next time, I'm going to wrap up here. This is M from the 33 Secrets. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you are notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on YouTube.